Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I'm Canon EOS Photographer Randall M. Rueff. Today is Tuesday, September the 17th, 2013 AD. And today we're looking at the Canon 30-300mm lens, cinema lens, I should say. Comes in the EF and PL mounts, so you have your options there. And I've done videos about this lens before, but at that time I didn't really have all the facts. And quite frankly, this is an awesome lens. Except for one thing. It doesn't do autofocus, which is disappointing. The second fact is the price. It's $45,000. Now, if it didn't cost 45 grand, and if it had autofocus, it would probably be the ultimate Canon lens, or for the average photographer, or professional photographer, or anyone that can afford it, needs it, wants it. This would be the ultimate lens. It's not a push-pull, it's a twist, so there's no air going in and out, which means it's better for weather sealing. It has generally better weather sealed. Now there's push-pull lenses that are weather sealed, but when you have a push-pull lens where you physically extend the size of the lens, when it's pushing and pulling, air has to go in and out. Whereas with this twisting, you don't have that, and it makes it for a better sealed lens. It looks awesome. I mean, my dream camera right now would be the 1DC or the 1DX, probably the 1DC, because it does a 4K video, even if it only does it in 24p. But either the 1DX or the 1DC and this lens would be, I mean, seriously, just awesome. I mean, I shoot with a 28-300 now. That's nowhere near this price range, nowhere near as good. You know this lens is going to be the state-of-the-art in sharpness. I mean, it's got more glass, more metal, it's heavy-duty. The glass is infinitely better than what I'm shooting with the Tamron 28-300. As far as the 28-300 Canon lens, this is so much better than that. Again, except for the fact that it doesn't do autofocus. That's right, that right there. I don't know what Canon is thinking. I mean, I understand some people don't want autofocus, and that's fine, but there needs to be the option, because when you spend that kind of money on this lens, not only are you going to be doing video work, but you're going to be doing photo work. You don't want to have to spend that kind of money and not use it for both. So having a photo lens that costs that much, that doesn't do autofocus, it's not something you I mean, I could never use it for photography without the autofocus. So I mean, what I'm hoping is that they're going to make this lens in an autofocus with. I mean, my hope is that they'll delete this lens, and not delete it, but upgrade it, or come out with a new one that has autofocus capabilities. Because that really would be the ultimate lens. Now, having said that, of course, the secondary issue is, of course, the price, which, wow, 45 grand. Granted, if I had 45 grand for a lens, I mean, that's just, I could literally see buying this lens, spending $45,000, having this be, well, maybe I would get a two times adapter, so I could multiply it to be 60-600 for far away, to really zooming in. But aside from a 2 times converter, this would probably be the lens that would literally last my entire career. I mean, I could probably die with this lens in my camera. I mean, because, I mean, that's how good it probably is, as far as, I mean, assuming you took good care of it, and it, you know, you did what you needed to do to maintain the lens and keep it, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I take real good care of my lenses, and all my stuff because I can't afford to replace a whole bunch of stuff because I don't have a lot of money. So what I do have, I have to take really good care of and use. And definitely when you spend that kind of money on a lens, you're going to want, I mean, unless you're just, you know, the children of Steve Jobs, you know, or, you know, Bill Gates, or, you know, whoever that's mega rich, this is going to be an investment, to say the least. But having said that, you know, it has the best, it has the widest, not only the selection of apertures, but it goes from small aperture to large aperture. It has, I mean, so many irises, and not irises, but lens elements, and it's just an amazing lens. And again, the only two downsides to it are autofocus and price. If you're doing movie videos and you're not doing photography, or if you're doing videos and not doing photography, or not doing photography that is high action, maybe this would be the lens. For me, I need to have that autofocus option. Plus, it needs to have that autofocus with image stabilization. ND filters would be built-in ND filter would be nice, but not necessary. But definitely image stabilization. And again, this looks totally awesome. Totally awesome. I love the way it looks. Again, I've never had one to actually touch and feel, but it's definitely overcomes the problems that the push-pull lens have of both changing sizes, getting bigger and smaller, and of course the the air going in and out is no longer a problem. So I mean, it's just, again, the two main problems are autofocus it doesn't have, and price. And now let me say it again, or let me put it in a third problem. Some people might say is their weight. It's a heavy lens. It's a big lens. So obviously, if you're going to be shooting with this lens, people are going to, I mean, if you're out in the street, or people are going to notice you've got this lens, more likely. I mean, you're not going to be able to get away with, just being, the casual photographer. This is going to be the lens that people say, ooh, yeah, there's a professional. So, I mean, it's definitely got the professional look and the weight. And, my theory about the weight of lenses and the cameras are, you know what, if you don't like how much it weighs, or you think it weighs too much, hire a professional. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just can't stand people that say, ooh, it weighs so much, it's just too heavy, I can't, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to spend that kind of money, or somebody can buy you this lens, or if you're going to spend the money, you need to either start working out or do something, because it just drives me nuts, the fact that some people can have this and not appreciate it, because I mean, literally, this is state-of-the-art glass, state-of-the-art metal. This is the highest of high-tech, not only because it has a focal length of 30-300, but, it's just the build quality. Everything about it is just awesome. Again, except for three things. The weight, which, like I said, I don't even want to hear people gripe about it, because it's... But the main thing, again, I can't get over the fact there's no autofocus, and of course the price. So those are the two main things, and of course right now I can't afford the 20-300, so the 30-300 is kind of definitely out of my price range. But even if I had the money, I wouldn't be buying it because there's no autofocus. For photography, for sports action, for quick moving objects, you have to have autofocus. That's just the way it is. And it doesn't have it, and that's the downside. So I wouldn't be buying this lens until they... unless somebody just donated this lens to me, I would not be buying it to use. Because there's a lot of times you can't sit there and focus. I mean, you can't do it. It just, things happen too fast, and you have to have the autofocus feature. Especially with photography, there's a lot, just if you're doing sports, or you're doing some action things, or just autofocus is something you gotta have nowadays. It just, you can't do it manually unless, maybe there's some times where you can do, a situation where you can set something up and have an athlete do something. But if you're having in a situation where, it's a basketball game or a football game or a soccer game, whatever kind of sport, where you can't have the athletes do something, where you can't set up a camera here, set up let's say a tripod, tripod here, and where it's always constantly moving and you can't control what's going on, you have to have that autofocus. And it's just, I don't know what Canon's thinking about not having it. I mean, I understand why a lot of people like it for the cinema part of not having autofocus. I understand that. But from a photography standpoint, it should have autofocus. So there should be both, I mean, it seriously, it does. It just blows my mind that there's not both in this. And it just, especially at that price. For that price, it should have both. Image stabilized, autofocus. It's frustrating because it looks beautiful. It's a beautiful, stunningly beautiful lens. That's all I can say for now. It's frustrating. One, I don't have a 1DX or 1DC. That's frustrating. Two, this lens, I would love to own it if it had autofocus. And somehow I could afford it or somebody would give it to me. But it would have to have autofocus for what I use for photography. It just, I don't understand. Ugh. That's all I can say. So, if you're doing cinema work where autofocus is important, this is the lens, baby. I mean, this is the lens. But, for me, video is part of my work. And even when I do video, I want autofocus. I personally prefer autofocus. That's not true of all video, but that I do. But for the majority of my video, the kind of video I do and the way I do it, even when I do video, I want autofocus. I don't know. That's how I feel about it. So until next time, I'm Canon EOS Photographer, Randall M. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, and may God bless you. Bye.